Well, happy Halloween, everyone. Welcome to the Shed of Solitude's Halloween special, although there's really nothing special about this. I was thinking before I started this, it would be cool to do a like Tales of the Crypt type thing, but Tales of the Shed of Solitude, something like that. I apologize for the plane that's flying over, and I think my mic is really loud tonight. I don't know. And I also apologize for Rocky, everyone's favorite dog that barks in the background. He's going crazy because it's Halloween and the trick-or-treaters are probably just about starting to come out. But anyway, tonight, originally, as my last video and one before that, I was going to do this here. We were going to smoke, I don't know if my camera's working here. We were going to smoke Scarecrow. I don't think that's working. Is it working? I don't know. Anyway, we're going to smoke this. This is from... I can't see. I got the mood lighting going on here. So this was from 2021. And I was going to smoke this, talk about this, but it's not that great. I didn't want to ruin my Halloween, so to speak, my Halloween smoke. So what I decided to do is smoke a blend that none of you can get, none of us can get right now. Well, you could get it if you really wanted it, but Maple Shadow, which is a fantastic blend. I love this blend. We're going to smoke that tonight instead. So we're going to light this up. I've done the false light, so let's get into it. Anyway, I swear to God I do a Halloween video every year. But that's not true. I haven't done a Halloween video since 2021, I think. 2022? I think might have been the last one, looking through the videos real quick tonight. I thought I at least did one Halloween video a year, but apparently I do not do that. So I'll try to get better at that as we go on. But I gotta be honest, Halloween in the Shed of Solitude, as I said before, it's kind of not as fun as it was a few years back when I first started with Dr. Lester, Redcoat's Return. We used to have this camaraderie with, we come into the fall, the winter season, we'd have the Halloween and Christmas time and stuff. It was good times. And then I guess, he had to move on and retire from YouTube and stuff, and I'm not going to get into that, but it's just, it hasn't been the same to do these types of videos, but tonight I felt like doing it. I thought, let's go old school, let's dim the lights and whatnot. You don't really need to see me. But I don't feel like having those lights blinding me in the face. Although, those spotlights turn and move around pretty easily. So... I don't know, they're kind of janky, and I'm a little wary of moving them because it'll fire or something like that. But then again, I got a heater on right now just to take the chill out. That had a recall. My electric start heater, that I like to call it. It's kind of a fire hazard, but I'm in here. I don't remote start it anymore, if you will. I was looking earlier at a different heating option for the Shed of Solitude. I got the tried and true Mr. Buddy, but I might change that up. I just don't know what yet. Now, I had this the other night on a whim, and it is so good. I know when I first got it, I had 2 tins of these. I think I burned through the other one, and I had this one. I started on this one. That's how good this is. This is. Unfortunately, you guys can't get this because Sutliff is no longer manufacturing this. That I don't know what the hell's going on, but that was part of that hostile takeover. I mean, takeover over the summer. I think it was the early summer. I think so. So that whole thing. But Scarecrow, I don't know. I'm glad they didn't release it again this year. That I don't know. And I like candy corn, and it smells like candy corn, but maybe that's not a fair assessment because that's a few years old now, right? So maybe I shouldn't. But I had it the other night, and it was not a fun experience. Well, I hope everyone has a fun Halloween. I'm not sure what you guys are gonna do. I'd be interested to see what you guys do. I don't know what I'm gonna exactly do. Obviously, I'm chilling in the shed, talking to you guys. I'm no doubt gonna watch some scary movies. I kind of want to watch Scream. That's kind of a family classic. My daughter loves Scream now. So, and I love the original Scream. The others, not so much. After 2 and 3, it's kind of like, all right, it gets a little far-fetched. But I think I'm going to do that. Or I may watch one of my all-time favorite monsters, Creature from the Black Lagoon. I might do that. And I don't know if my mic is too high, and if it is, I apologize. The audio may be horrible on this. But anyway. I may read Edgar Allan Poe. I love reading Edgar Allan Poe on Halloween. The other thing is, tonight is such... I feel inspired to be in the shed because it's like perfect shed weather as we go into the fall and the winter. Especially last night was a spooky, rainy, windy night. And now it's just windy tonight. But it's just ideal conditions for being in the shed around Halloween. It was just ideal. So I had to make a video. What's your favorite monster? What's your favorite classic monster? I'm not talking like... I'll cut it off in the 90s, like with Scream. Like, okay, so stuff like Gen X grew up with, basically, and the millennials. So after 96, anything after 96, I don't want to know about, to be honest, because horror kind of died after that. Although Scream is more of a thriller, suspense, not horror per se. I would say, well, The Darkness Falls is a very underrated early 2000s horror movie, which I absolutely love. The Tooth Fairy lady scared the bejeebies out of me. I'll never forget that. I don't know. I watched that one day on, I don't know, like TBS or something like that back in 2003, 4, and I remember the lady just scared the bejeebies out of me. But that's an interesting one. But my favorite classic monster is the Creature from the Black Lagoon. As you can see, I got him up here. He was always my favorite, Gilman. I don't know why. Just kind of drawn to that character. My daughter likes the old classics too. Remember 4 years ago, we watched the old monsters, the Universal monsters. I guess my bigger question is, what's your favorite Universal monster? I was never big into Frankenstein, the Universal Frankenstein. Although he's classic, you got to respect the guy, right? However, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, the novel, is one of the best stories I've ever read, ever. And I think it's one of the best works of all time, to be honest. And that's amazing. It's just a fantastic story. And it's funny, when I read it a few years back, because I'd never read it before, it is so vastly different than what you see in Hollywood. I question, okay, I get the way you went with Frank, the Hollywood version, and that's fun and interesting in some ways, but man, that novel is so much better. And I look forward to seeing Frankenstein on Netflix, and I think there's 2 versions coming out. I'm looking forward to that, just to check that out. And of course, there's Count Dracula. But one of my favorite, still to this day, favorite Dracula films was Bram Stoker's Dracula from Coppola. That was just, I don't know, unique to the times, I guess. But it was just a great film. I loved it. I'll never forget. I want to say, hold on, I got to look this up because this is important. Let's get the old spectacles on here, because there's a movie that's like the worst movie I've ever seen. Let me see. I think. Oh, what was it called? Hold on. Shadow of a Vampire, that's what it is. Shadow of the Vampire. It starred William Dafoe, John Malkovich. Let me just make sure this is the one. Yeah. Shadow of a Vampire. So this is it here. Shadow of a Vampire. This film was so awful. It got an 82% on Rotten Tomatoes. Why, people? Why would you think this is good? It is awful. I remember going to the theater with my buddy Tim, my best friend Tim, his future wife, my friend Jeff, and his future wife, and me and my friend Jessica, who I always palled around with, but we never did anything. We were just buddies. And I remember Jeff passing out. Tim and I bought out of our skull, and we went because his wife wanted to see the film, and we ended up walking out of the film. It was so horrible. That was just an awful experience. That was just horrible. I don't recommend that film one bit. I should watch it just to see if it's as bad as I remember. That was over 20 plus years, almost 30 years ago. I bet you it's still bad. No doubt about it. This has got it. Now, this is going to sound funny, an oxymoron. It's got that fall burnt leaves kind of smell to it. And yes, it is a leaf. The irony isn't lost on me. But I mean, it just smokes so good. It tastes so good. I really feel bad for Rocky just barking there. Hopefully he's not annoying you guys. I'm kind of used to it. It doesn't bother me. But what other films, horror film, slasher film? I mean, growing up, like the big three, right? Were Freddy, Jason, and Michael. My favorite growing up was Jason. I was big into hockey, and I like Jason. He's great. He's got this big machete, awesome guy kind of thing. And as I got older, in my 20s, I liked Michael Myers. And then I found out, I think is it H2O? The film where he kills Laurie, kills his sister in that timeline, which jumps all over the place. And he's walking back, and he walks by the clown that's supposedly like John Wayne Gacy inspired. And he rattles off the serial killer. He says, "Oh, Michael Myers, born October 19th, 1957, I believe it is." And that's the same birthday as me. Well, not 57 or 56 or whatever it is. I'm October 19th, 1976. And I just felt the bond with my namesake. So I kind of identify with Mike there. But Freddy never did much for me. I never really liked Freddy. I thought he was amusing, don't get me wrong. But he never really did much. And then, of course, Ghostface with Stu and Billy. And they just dropped the trailer last night or yesterday for the Scream 7, and Stu's supposedly coming back, but the things I've heard about it, and of course on my old podcast network, Igloo Media, EGM, we had a podcast on there called Scream with Ryan Showers, and that's all it's about. It's about Scream or whatever. So I follow along on his stuff a little, but I don't want to know anything some of the stuff I've seen is kind of like, it's with the times. It's kind of, I don't know. It's a bit strange, some of the stuff I see. I like the idea of there always was a third killer. Of course, Dewey's dead now, so you can't say he was the ringleader or whatever. But I like the idea of there was a third guy in the background that we didn't even know about, but he was there and we didn't really see him or whatever. And he'd just come back 20-something years later to kill her or something like that. Or 30 years later. That would be interesting, but maybe not. I don't know. I don't write movies. I'm almost out. This burns really quick. The only thing I can say with Maple Shadows, if you can find it, get it. And hold on to it. Because, I mean, this will last me a while. I'm not burning through it like I was when I first got it a few years ago, last year or the year before, whenever the hell I got it. Because I was really just enjoying the hell out of it. Hold on to it because I don't know if we'll ever have it again. You never know. Maybe someone will buy that blend and repackage it. It might not be the same, but you know, you never know. Well, I'm going to go finish this up because I'm just about done. I'm at the dawdle. I'm going to go figure out what I'm going to watch. I hope you guys watch something fun. I hope you guys enjoy your Friday night. Have a good pipe and, you know, have fun, relax, stay safe. Don't cause mischief like me and my buddy Tim used to do on this night. Those were good times. Maybe someday I'll talk about those. But anyway, happy Halloween, everyone, and I'll see you guys soon.